So, yeah, welcome to 15 Minutes of Positivity. Again, the idea is we just take a few minutes a day to do what we can to rewire our brain for positivity. And we meet every day at noon for about 15 minutes. And then I'll do a Q&A afterwards. So if you have any questions or want to stick around, just hang tight in the, after we do the practice. So today, I want to do one of my favorite practices, which is Metta. It's the Pali word for loving kindness. It's one of these really foundational positivity practices borrowed from Buddhism. And before we do it, I just want to remind us of why do this? Like why actually stimulate positive networks in our brain? And the answer has to do with our evolutionary negativity bias. And so, when we experience positivity and negativity in our brain, they're very different in terms of their stickiness or our natural tendency to pay attention to the experience that we're having. And so one way to think of this is negativity is like Velcro for the brain, right? When something negative happens, our mind and our attention just gloms onto it. There's a really good reason for that. That's how our ancestors survived. And, those ancestors of ours that didn't, twitch or get nervous about any, rustle in the bushes were probably eaten, or just their DNA just wasn't passed on. Positivity is kind of like Teflon for the brain, right? There's no real evolutionary or survival benefit to holding on to positive experiences. It's like, so the rustle in the bushes, was just a bird. It wasn't actually a wild animal, and there's no real reward for that. So in some ways, there's sort of a luxury that we have being from a neurologic standpoint, being in the situation that we're in, is where we get to actually pay attention and notice to what kind of experience are we having, and if it's a negative experience, we can hopefully cultivate awareness around that and then steer ourselves towards positivity. And we can kind of go to the positivity gym, right? So what we're going to do today is sort of falls in line with that, which is, as much as possible, stimulate those neural networks that give us positive experiences, and then that primes our brain to be more inclined to experience that. And research has shown that the ratio is about 1 to 5. And so it's really interesting research in the world of intimate relationships and divorce, and by this guy called John Gottman out in Seattle. And he found that for every one negative experience that we have, you need about 5 positive experiences to counter, to balance the scale. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to intentionally activate a positive experience to sort of put some positivity in the bank account. And the way we'll do that is really old Buddhist practice called Metta, so loving kindness. And the idea is we intentionally cultivate a sense of, I love this word, boundless, like a boundless sense of love and goodwill and friendliness towards others and ourselves. And we're literally going to do this for a few minutes. It has a really, it has a really positive sort of long tail or afterglow to it. And so I'm going to guide you through meditation. But the idea is we're going to repeat in our mind, or you can also, mute yourselves and say these out loud. There's something really wonderful about hearing yourself saying it. And we're going to repeat certain phrases. And we'll go through, I'll guide you through some instructions here. But it has to do with help towards others. So being the source of these loving, kind wishes for others and ourselves. And so let's get started. Go ahead, close your eyes. And as always, find this sense of groundedness in the present moment, and see if you can just settle into your body. If you need to wiggle your shoulders or wiggle your body a little bit, see if you can sink into your chair a little deeper and maintain a sense of alertness. So we don't want to get completely, well, we want it to be relaxed during these kinds of exercises, we also want to take a take sort of an alert and present stance. And then maybe wiggle your toes and shift your feet and really feel the ground under your feet. This is what's happening right here, right now. In this moment, we're just sitting. We're sitting together just for a few minutes with the intention of doing something positive and kind for ourselves and others. Notice your body breathing. Now I want you to bring to mind someone that you care about. Maybe it's someone that you love, maybe it's a partner or a parent or a sibling or a good friend. And I want you to picture them doing what they do, living their life, being them, interacting with you. I want you to drop into this place of awareness of, why do you love them? Why do you appreciate them or care about them? And feel it as much as you can, and make this an embodied experience and not so much an intellectual one. And then either quietly in your mind or out loud, say to them, may you feel safe. May you feel seen and heard. May you be healthy. May you feel peaceful and free. It doesn't necessarily matter that they can't hear you right now. What matters is that you're the source of this loving kindness. And again, you can repeat these wishes again. Imagine saying to them, may you feel safe. May you feel seen and heard. May you be healthy. May you feel peaceful and free. And just notice what it's like to embody the source of that loving kindness for this person that you care about. Now I want you to bring to mind someone that you have somewhat neutral feelings about. Maybe it's the UPS delivery guy or someone at the grocery store. So you don't really know them, and it doesn't matter. Loving kindness is something that we carry with us and radiate out to others. I want you to imagine being near them. Maybe you're standing in line, waiting to pay for your groceries, and they're doing their thing. And I want you to say to yourself, may you feel safe. May you feel seen and heard. May you be healthy. May you feel peaceful and free. They're probably just like us. They want to feel connected and appreciated and have a sense of belonging. And again, just imagine you're watching them from a distance. And even though you don't really know who they are or maybe even what their name is, it doesn't matter. Feel that embodied sense of loving kindness and radiate it out towards them. And again, you can say out loud, may you feel safe. May you feel seen and heard. May you be healthy. And may you feel peaceful and free. And now bring your attention inward. and towards yourself. Maybe you can imagine yourself looking in the mirror. It's, by the way, a great way of doing this and practicing yourself in the mirror, or maybe you remember a photograph of yourself as a little kid, or even a recent photograph. And imagine saying to yourself, may you feel safe. May you feel seen and heard. May you be healthy. May you feel peaceful and free. I think oftentimes we forget, especially when we're struggling with anxiety or depression or other issues, we forget that we're just a person like everyone else out there, just like the good friend of ours or the person we don't really know. And there's a relationship that we can cultivate with ourselves that is also steeped in the sense of loving kindness. Maybe you can change the phrasing and say, may I feel safe. May I feel seen and heard. May I be healthy. May I feel peaceful and free. Expand the circle, so of awareness. So the first person that was probably very easy to feel loving kindness towards. And then the other person that you don't really know that well. And yourself. It's almost like you're looking at these three beings and say out loud, may you all feel safe. May you all feel seen and heard. May you be healthy. May you feel peaceful and free. And let's just rest for a few seconds in that experience. And then bringing yourself back to the present moment, maybe wiggle your feet, noticing the ground under your feet, noticing you're sitting in the chair. Again, the simplicity of the present moment is always available. Our mind tends to complicate things. And then also remembering, what this practice really lets us know is that at any given positivity neurons, those networks that allow us to feel that positivity. And, there's a specific order in doing this practice. And it's usually easier to start with someone that's really easy to feel that loving kindness for, and really drop into that place. And then slowly sort of take a step back. And I have noticed that, oftentimes adding ourselves in at the very end is easier than starting with ourselves. So you can play with the order, and hope that was helpful. Metta, loving kindness meditation. I'll stick around for a few more minutes if anyone has any questions, and hope that was helpful. See you again at noon tomorrow.